Sorry for delay on today's class. Actually, due to system restart, the bit extra time. Okay, fine. So till yesterday, what we saw, like what is a real-time extract, transform, and load. So what are all the components involved on each step? Then what is like batch ETL process and real-time ETL process? Those and all. So now we will see more elaborated way in extract alone. Okay. So my screen is visible, right, guys?
Yeah.
Just be on unmute yourself and okay. So before extracting, okay, so we have to see what are we going to extract, right? So we are going to extract the data from some data source. Maybe like it may be from a same data source we can retrieve it. Otherwise, different data source we can retrieve it. Whenever it is from single data source, okay, different set of data which is extracted from single data source. Suppose you see we have maintaining one what a bank, okay, bank which is like corporation bank, right? Corporation bank will act within the uh, municipality or city, right? So which will have authority to a particular extent only, particular area only. After that, it's not allowed to do any operations. So they are maintaining their data inside the system, inside the source. Then that's called a homogeneous data source. Basically, a data source from same data from same source. Okay, different stuff data from single data source. If you see your railway ticket booking or a server is launched, okay, IRCTC app which is launched, you're working on it. So where the data stores, okay? If they're maintaining in single database or single location, either it might be either completely location like a blob storage, or if it is completely a database, or it may be anything, a single source. It's called homogeneous data source. So if we see, for example, a local corporate banks, customer details, loan details, these are all maintained in uh, same database. Okay, and the next one is heterogeneous data source, which typically like homogeneous means single source. So we can map it. If it is heterogeneous, it's different set of source. Okay, different set of data extracted from multiple data source. For example, the same bank operations you can take. Okay, and the same bank operations. I have bank A, okay, which is an international bank working on different countries to provide loans for the government projects or like a particular business startups. Okay, so while doing that, for example, their headquarters is on India. Okay, they are operating on Canada. Then they are providing loans and what mortgages, kind of these process in other countries. Okay, so at that area, it may be in different format. Now inside India, it may be in different format. Now by end, I want to extract all the data source from different countries or different global region. Then I want to do processing on that. So if I'm getting the data from more than one source, that's called heterogeneous data source. I'm getting data from single source. It's called homogeneous data source. That's it. It's straightforward. And next one, we will see extraction strategies. Now I'm finalized with my data. I have a data from single source or multiple sources, anything, fine. But I want to make a strategy, how I'm going to extract the data. First, we have to discuss and decide or be strong on that, right? Then only I can do the extraction without missing any critical information, and I can work or transform on it. Then I can provide efficient reporting, right, guys? Yes.
Yes.
So first of all, so extraction is nothing but taking data from the source. Now we have three types of extraction: full extractions, partial extraction. In partial extraction itself, you have two varieties: with update notification, without update notification. Okay. So first of all, full extraction. In the name itself, it suggests or justifies that what is full extraction. Suppose, let's say I have one database source. Okay. For example, I have data from this Excel sheet. Okay. Sample data, July OLTP. If I'm extracting all the data at a stretch, so here I have around 74 records. Okay. All 74 records I'm extracting into for pasting into a different different target. I want to extract all the records. It's called full extraction. And partial extraction with update logic or with update notification, which is called delta extraction. So what it means, like, for example, okay, let's take one. So let's look at this example. So you can see this content, right, guys? So we have a customer table. There you have customer ID, name, city, last updated. Okay. There you can see. So now it is 7. Okay. 101 customer is loaded, last updated on 11th, November 1st. Okay. And Meena, she was updated on November 3rd. And Arjun, he was updated on today. Okay. I'm running my job. Okay. Whenever I'm running ETL run or job run or process or map anything, it's like component. If you trigger that pipeline, it will fetch the data from source to target. Okay. Getting ETL run means suppose the developer will create a pipeline. In future class, we will see elaborated way on pipelines. Okay, guys. So it is ETL run means source having 100 records. Now I am doing ETL run. ETL run means triggering the job or pipeline. Now what happens? Now all the source are extracted and loaded into the designated target. Okay, next time I'm triggering the pipeline. So what and all there, based on the strategy I have decided, it will be extracted and loaded into the target. Getting, guys, this is very much important before going to the actual the technical concepts. So these conceptual things are very important. So please talk and get it clarified, guys. Otherwise, you feel difficult to understand while we are going on the technical sessions. Any doubt? Seeing any response or
Sir, can you repeat it once again?
so basically extraction. Extraction means so we are taking the data from some source to one target. Okay, for example, I'm having Excel. This is my source. So this is simple example. This is my source. Let's consider the source is from Excel file, and I have my target as SQL database server. Okay. This is my target. Okay. Source is Excel file. Target is SSMS database. Clear now? Now you're having defined source and defined target. Okay. I want to extract all the data from the source, which is an Excel file, and I want to load inside a SSMS database table. Okay, inside database, I have to create a DB. Then inside DB, I have to create schema. Inside that schema, I have to create a table. Okay, these and all the structurings inside the database. Even that also I will explain deeply. Now, just understand this is a structure. So inside this table, I'm creating the table as the name of customer. Now I want to bring this data inside this SSMS table. Okay, for how can I bring it? Can somebody tell? So from the source to target, I'm moving the data with the help of some technical component must be there, right, for moving the data from source to target, right, guys? Guys, be
Yes.
interactive, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
So some intermediate technical component has to be there. That technical component is called ETL tool. Okay, ETL tool. Okay, so we have ETL tool. In our sessions, we are going to see Visual Studio SSIS package. SSIS package is our ETL tool. Now, in this ETL tool, we need to create something. This is tool which allow to move the data from source to target. But how? With the help of pipelines. Pipeline is nothing but a technical component. We can design it. We can provide some logic. Okay, pipeline or job. So what is the pipeline or job basically? Does anybody having any idea? Please share your thoughts, guys. So what is pipeline or jobs? Even we have discussed in previous class also. A plan to move
Can I
or
answer?
migrate the data. Yeah, Sri,
Can
yeah,
I
go
answer,
ahead. Yeah.
So the pipelines where we do the yesterday's class, we talk about the writing, doing the transformations using logics, or these are called, we work on the pipeline. So any technical
But
component.
go about only with this scenario. Okay, pipeline. What it does? It's moving the data, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So while creating this pipeline or job, this is name. So in pipeline, what we will do? I'm going to write a logic creating logic to fetch. Okay, what is the source location for this Excel file? Since this is Excel file, source location. Okay, and file name. Okay, and what inside the table, what kind of data, and specific conditions. So, Kumar, are you asking any question? It's something. Okay. So these and all the components of the pipeline. These and all the parameters of the pipeline. So what the logic will specifies, how I'm going to take the data from source, and what is the location of source, what is the file name of the source, since this is Excel file, and what kind of data, specific condition. Suppose I'm setting a condition like till today. Okay, my last run, I'm running. My last run happened on 11 November 3, 2025. So I'm setting setting a condition like, actually after the last run, how many data added in the source. So my last run happened on, my first run happened on November 1, 2025. Second run happened on November 3. And next run, I'm going to trigger the pipeline. So what's the time? 6/20/25. Okay, now I'm setting the condition like whenever I'm triggering the pipeline or whenever triggering the job, so which will refer what is the previous run date. After the run date till current date, till today, how many records added? Just take that records alone. Okay. So in this table, how can I set that condition? Can somebody answer, guys? So my condition is like whenever triggering the job, it must take the records from previous load, previous run.
I think we
After
need
the
to
previous
load.
run.
Yeah, we need to load after 3rd November.
Yeah, after 3rd November, how many records updated? I want
Only
to take
one.
that and load only one. So
One.
how can I set the condition? So this is
The
run.
date
Yeah.
can be greater than 3.
Yes. Greater than 3. So I can give run ID for each run. Okay. Run ID for each run. 1, 2. And this one I'm going to trigger. So it is not completed. Whenever the run is completed, then only the ID will be generated in real-time projects. So what happens now? What the current run ID? So it will go the maximum run ID. It will take max run ID with the help of SQL queries. So max run ID will be 2. What is the date of that run? 11/3. So my start date 11/3 2025 to 11/6/2025. Okay, this is my start date, this is my end date. Okay, when the data last update is the date column, whenever the last update must be greater than this condition 11/3 and last update must be greater less than this value. So in this way, we will set the condition. So once the condition set, it will be altered on each run. It can be, we have to set the logic like that. So once it is done, if we are triggering the pipeline, no, so it will take this record alone and it will paste it here. Now, so this is the this is why used the pipeline. Okay, this is the significance of pipeline or job. So, and what you can say in conceptual wise, okay, the pipeline or job is a specific component which do either extraction, okay, which will extract the data from some kind of source, and based on the logic we set inside the pipeline, based on the logic or specific condition we set, it will apply all those conditions and logics inside the data which is extracted, and it will load into a specific target. So this is the definition of the pipeline or job. Clear, guys?
Yes,
Guys,
sir.
please.
Yes.
Yeah. So anybody having any question on what is pipeline or job? No. Just raise your hands, guys.
Yeah, I have one question now.
Yes, we. Yeah. Go ahead.
So we see, you mentioned the specific conditions equal to, can we call as incremental load or SCDs, and specific conditions both are same?
Yes,
Or
that's actually like while you are designing a pipeline, this condition will be altered based on the logic we are setting. So while we see the SSIS package creation, so just keep this those concepts in your mind. While we are implementing it, I will show you how can I do that. How can I take only incremental data? Okay.
okay, so
Yeah.
that means the specific conditions and SCDs are both are same using the logic. Am I right?
No, a CD is a concept. Okay. This run IDs, these and all. How can I implement my SCD? Okay. So SED is nothing but like I want to do I want to insert updated records. So how I can do that? With the help of this pipeline. In the pipeline, what it is there? So logic is there, source location component is there, file name is there, and specific condition is there. At the condition, I have to set like, okay, on each time while loading the data, you just go to previous run happened. Okay, on the previous run date, after the previous run date, is there any record is there? Just take that and load it into the target. This is what I'm going to tell in the pipeline. Okay, I'm achieving SCD through this pipeline. Clear, Sri?
That means the specific condition means we are giving a condition in our store procedure. Am I right?
Not in a, yes, exactly.
Right.
Not in a
Store
store
procedure.
procedure. Just take an example of store procedure. How we are setting the condition to extract the data. Likewise, if we provide the same condition in pipeline, that pipeline while triggering it, it will extract all the data. Okay, it will extract all the data and it will apply the condition on top of this data. Clear?
Got it.
Yeah, to apply the data. So whatever the data satisfying my condition, just it will take and it will store inside that temporary storage inside that pipeline or ETL tool. Then while load step goes, it will load the same data into the target. Clear?
Okay.
Okay. So this is what basic overview of the ETL or intermediate pipeline or job. So other
The
than
pipeline means load the data or what actually? What is the pipeline?
pipeline is used for extracting, transforming, and load the data. So that's what I told as of now. Yeah. So it will extract the data from the source. Since for each pipeline, okay, for each pipeline, we have options like extract, transform, and load. Okay. If we want to perform all three actions in single pipeline, it is possible. And if I want to create a pipeline to only extract and load, it is also possible. Okay. So we have different components inside the pipeline. Actually, I have some component for extracting the data. Okay. After extracting, I want to do transformation. For that, we have some component inside the pipeline. That's why I told the logic, source, location, file name. These and all conceptual things. While you are implementing it in your SSIS, the name may vary. Okay, there we will tell data flow. Okay, control flow, and a derived column. Derived column means since you have received this record, while I'm loading into the target, I want to insert one more column. That's called derived column. Likewise, that's called a transformation. So these kind of operations can be done with the pipeline. Okay, basically, it's a component provided by ETL tool to support extract, transform, load. Clear, Pragya?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
And
Nice.
pipeline and job both are same?
Yes, yes. The name only we will call it as pipeline or job. Both refers to same thing. Okay.
Then what is active as scheduler? I think job is same as the active as schedule.
No, actually, like job and scheduler is like different. Scheduler is one of the component. Even we can schedule the pipeline also. Okay. So scheduler is used for if I want to run the job or run the pipeline on a regular interval, on a defined interval. So a scheduler is a component. So scheduler component, there we will have when and all I want to run the job or pipeline 1 hour once. And what is the start date and time. So I want to start the job by 11/6/2025, 10 p.m. So I've provided start date. Then what's the interval? 1 hour. Okay, that's it. So when it is end, So based on it, we can provide it. There is no end date. So the scheduler, okay, and what's the job name or pipeline name? Job name. So we provide these components. So the pipeline, I'm giving extract customer data is my pipeline name. Okay, while I'm creating the pipeline to extract the data from Excel source and pasting it inside the SSMS database. Okay, I'm creating a scheduler. In that scheduler, from November 6, 10 p.m. on each 1 hour, the pipeline has to be triggered. Okay, has to be triggered. So this is what I've entered the information in the scheduler. So it happens like it will send a message to the pipeline, or on each pipeline you have start button to run the pipeline, okay, or job. So it will trigger on each 1 hour. So this is what the scheduler and pipeline or job. Okay. So the scheduler typically called as job scheduler. Job scheduler means what it is going to schedule the job. The job or pipeline both are same. The name defines the same thing. Okay, Pragya?
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. So this is a flow. So it runs. And no other questions, right? Can I go move on to the next topic? Guys, clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now the actual topic is extract, right? So extraction, full extraction, partial extraction with update notification, partial extraction without update notification. Okay. So just take the extraction, full extraction. So full extraction means nothing. It will run only once. Okay. I have a table which is created without no data. Okay. I created a table in SSMS in my target. Now I'm running my job. What and all the data will be there in the source Excel file. So I have 3 records. It will take all 3 records, okay, and paste it over here using the help of pipeline or job. Okay. So this is typically called as full load for full extraction. Full extraction in the sense extraction perspective. So the pipeline is extracting all the data from the source, right? So this is called full extraction. Full load means the pipeline loads all the data from source to target is called full load. Okay. Clear, guys?
I got confused. What is the
Yeah.
difference between full extraction and full load? Both, could you please give
Simply
the
like just concentrate on pipeline. Okay. From pipeline, whenever triggered, it will extract all the data from source. Okay. All the data from source, all 3 records from the source are taken, but not pasted into the target. Okay. Still it is in this one. Let's say we have a work area for this pipeline will be pipeline name is this one. So we have this pipeline work area. Now all 3 records are extracted and only kept in the inside the ETL tool, inside extract customer data work area. Inside the pipelines work area, it is holding the data, which means full extraction. Okay. And what and all the data extracted from the source are loaded into the target, which is called full load. Clear, Sri?
Yes.
Just it is same, but whether it is taking or pasting, that's it, the difference. If it is taking from the source, typically we will tell as full extraction. If it is pasting into the target, it is called full load.
Means first time data is called the initial load, and after that the data
Can you come
will
again?
modify data.
No,
Yeah, I'm telling something. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
telling something. Yeah, I'm telling that the first time data is called the initial load.
Yes.
After that, the data is loaded. Is called the full load.
Yes, exactly, exactly. The initial load or full load both are same. Those are name difference. The full
No, no.
load. Yeah.
Initial load and full load is different, right?
No, 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 no. It is same only. Typically, if you see the full load or initial load, both happen only once. Okay. At the time of initial load, what and all the data there in the source. Suppose I have this 3 records in the source. Okay. I'm doing initial load. There won't be any particular condition for initial load. It will take all the data from source and paste it in the target. So typically, which means initial or full load will be same. And if you go with other conditions, I've did it initial load, okay, and I've removed and loaded it into the target. Now I have one more record added, okay, like Arun. Now instead of adding this record also, instead of adding this 104 alone into the target, simply due to some issue, I want to truncate this table. I'm deleting from the target SSMS table and I'm again triggering the full load. Okay. At that time, if you see with this table customer, which was truncated and recreated newly, at the time it will be again called as initial load and it is with full load. Suppose I have deleted only the data, okay, only data, and I am loading it again. Then you can call it as full load, not initial load. Okay, Pragya, it answers your question. Those are some virtual concepts. You can say initial load or in real time project, it won't happen. The load will happen only once. That's called initial load. Or the terms, it will be called initial load. Just you can note it, guys. Initial load, full load, history load. These three are same. Okay. These three are typically same. Incremental load or partial load is same. Okay. Clear, Pragya?
Yeah.
Okay. In real-time project, it will be same. There's don't need to confuse so much. The meaning will be same. Okay, fine. We'll go to full extraction means what and all there in the source, it will be loaded into the target. The next thing we will see what is partial load, okay, especially in the partial load. So can somebody tell what is partial load or what is partial? We can first discuss about that. Then we can go the technical concepts. So what do you mean by partial?
Can I answer?
Yes, Sri, go ahead.
So partial
Only
load is
few-
nothing but, we get the daily wise or weekly wise the data. So hourly wise or so that
No,
is called
exactly.
incremental.
Yeah, correct. It was absolutely correct answer. Kumar, something you have came to tell. Please go ahead with your thoughts. Kumar,
Yeah, even I thought of saying the same thing. Incremental is something like delta, right? The old
yeah,
data is already we
yes,
call it as the
exactly.
initial load. Later on that, whatever changes happen will be taken up
Yeah, exactly.
and
So
will be
partial
added.
means, usually partial means part of data, not entire data, part of data. So we have to decide what is that part of data and why that part of data has to be taken into our ETL system, right? So while doing that, on each day. We have a transactional DB. Everything is called OLTP, online transactional data processing, a transactional data. So on each instance, on each day or each minute or each hour, some operations can happen. That will make one flow of data that will be stored in the database. Okay. So once you are doing full load or historical load or initial load, which will be executed on particular timestamp or date stamp. So which is executed on a particular date and timestamp. After the date and timestamp, anyhow the real-time system is going to run. Correct? For example, we can take credit card process. You have credit card, a bill will be generated on, for example, let's say a bill will be generated on November 1st, which means with November 1st, you're going to stop using credit card? Absolutely not, right? So after November 1st, from November 2nd, you can make utilize of it. So from November 2, you're purchasing something. So what must be happen on December 1st? A new bill has to be generated from November 2 to December 1 expenses, right, guys? So
Yes.
that's one typical example of incremental data. Okay. So it must not take old data. Okay. Suppose I paid my bill on November 1st. Till November 1st, what and all I used. And November 2nd, I'm doing my spendings till December 1st. At the time, what and all I have spent from November 2 till November 30, that must be billed. Not October, June, August, September, these and all. Because already I paid it. So the same concept we can brought into our ETL system. Okay, now what is the change happened after my previous load? That's called partial load. Okay, and in partial load we have two varieties. One is with update notification. Another one is non-update notification. So first we will see with update notification. Update notification we can achieve it through a different categories. Okay. So if you see with update notifications, nothing but if some update is happening, okay. Typically this is called a delta load, okay, and partial extraction will happen whenever the transaction keep on updating from the source system. Okay, for example, we have share market. If you see share market update database, on each minute it will keep on update. So if it has to be hosted from some other application, if you see we have Grow application and some other application, no? So which will be authorized person to access the share market data from the main database to which will be read access only. So they can view the data. So that's what happens. So now how in terms of ETL it will happen. So the first option will be trigger in database. Second one is change data capture. Third one is timestamp columns. Fourth one is logs or message queues. Okay. First we will see what is triggers. Actually triggers in the database means you see we have for let's consider this is my source. Uh, share ID, share name, let's see data, process, Accenture, Microsoft, Excel. Isn't all the company, just in which city, okay, share value. Say 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is your table, okay, in the master database of share market. Share market. Master database. Okay. So from this database, I'm vendor for this database. I'm having read access authenticated person. Read access authenticated person or authenticated vendor for accessing this data. So suppose my app name will be like Grow. Okay, Grow. Now, if you see, I can view this data. So how I can view this data? So I'm creating one API to display this data into my API. It must be updated. It must be in sync with MasterDB. So how I can do that? For example, if you see trigger, okay, how the trigger works is like if there is any new addition or new updation or new deletion happens at that time, a set of code intermediate which is provided in the ETL tool. Okay, inside ETL tool, we have option to create a trigger. Okay, trigger which will capture each change in the master database, and it will update the same in the target tool. So if you see the trigger over here, we will see what is trigger. Okay, trigger is a database object that runs automatically when specified data manipulation happened. Okay, typically when I insert, update, or delete. Okay, so how it works? Upload, source table change happens. So the trigger fired. So the trigger which we created will fire, and it will insert the data into the staging or changing table. Okay, so this is how the trigger will work. So if you see in real time coding, okay, so you can see it's visible, right, guys? So the source table, I have customer, okay, change or audit table, which is to track the log, okay, track the change. I create two tables. One is for main data, another one is for a change, to track the change ID. Okay, what is the changed value? What is the change type? Okay, what is the name, city, the change, everything. So how I can create my trigger in the ETL tool through the codings. So create or replace trigger on customer changes. Okay, so in this table I'm creating trigger. Okay, what will accept trigger? Okay, trigger, while I'm creating it, the changes will be tracked in this table, and the exact trigger coding will be after insert, update, or delete on customer. So which means if any insertion, updation, or deletion happens with the customer table for each row, okay, it will send the values to my log table. So this is a log table, customer changes. There everything will be stored. So this is how the trigger will work. Okay, guys. So remaining concept, since we have they're already 9:53, so we can discuss on remaining concepts by tomorrow. We have 3 more ways for doing that update notification with partial load, and we have to discuss partial load without update notification also. Okay, guys. Any question or doubts till now?
Triggers and sir, triggers and stored procedures are different.
Yes, it is different. Stored procedure is used for if you are using a set of code again and again. Okay. To avoid it, using multiple times in your code. Suppose in 50 areas of my code, I'm using a set of code, 3 lines of code. Then I can create a stored procedure, which is nothing but a function. Java, if you see the function, no? So it's like the same function will be called as stored procedure in SQL. So you can put the same set of code inside your stored procedure, and you can execute or call that stored procedure. When you call in that stored procedure, the same 3 line of code will execute and provide the result on the particular area. Okay. Okay, Chandra.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is what this. So anybody having any other question, we can discuss it. Otherwise, we can go to the quiz session. for today.
Can you explain one more time trigger, please? One
So
time.
which one you want to explain again, Sri?
Trigger. Just a trigger concept
Okay.
that you explained.
Yeah, trigger is nothing but simply just take a name literally with the local language or the language you understand. So trigger means if you say a gun, okay, while you're clicking the trigger, the bullet fires, right?
Yes.
The same thing. Whenever a trigger will be created with particular option, particular operation it runs. I want to create a trigger like if particular operation done in a table, particular operation happens in a table, then I want to create a trigger to call some other set of codings. Okay. For example, here you can see how this trigger is created. It's on top of the customer table. You see here, my trigger will be after insert or update or delete on customer table. Customer is a table which is already created. Whenever uh, happens it, okay, and my trigger will store the changes in customer changes table. So this is a customer changes table, and on each row, if inserting, then insert into customer underscore changes of custody IDs and all. The values which and all inserted inside this table will be tracked inside this. Clear, Sri? So the
Yeah,
change
I
for
got it. So
example, yeah. If
that means
10 change
that
happens, yeah, 10 change happens to the customer ID 1, all 10 changes will be stored inside this one. So this is called trigger.
okay.
Whenever the
That
insertion
means
happens,
so
yeah,
the trigger where store the data or just giving will store the
don't
data?
go with the data. See, it will track the log. Okay, if you want to track the log, you have to use trigger. So if trigger, I'm setting it whenever a table is inserted, updated, or deleted. Okay, just store the inserted or updated or deleted data into the some table. If I code in this way, and trigger will insert the data whichever newly inserted or newly updated or newly deleted. Suppose I'm creating trigger whenever a new insertion happens in the source table. I'm setting the trigger to call my pipeline. Clearly, at the time what happens? The pipeline runs and the source data will be loaded into the target table. Okay, Sri?
I got understand what you said. My question is like, you are creating a particular, you're creating a trigger on particular table. That means this trigger have, see, you creating a table right here, that data,
Yeah.
whatever the inserted, whatever the deleted, whatever the updated, those records will be stored in a trigger table or not.
Yeah,
You,
that's what. Here I have set to store the data into the trigger table. That's why it was loaded. Suppose I'm changing the logic to load the changed data into the target table, then it will happen. So here, just go, don't go with this logic alone. Just be open. Like here, I set the logic to load the data, whichever inserted, updated, or deleted into the log table. Clear, Sri? But this only happens with the trigger, which means no. Suppose I'm calling my pipeline with the data whichever inserted. It's possible.
so I got understand. So the
Yeah.
target table can be, using a trigger, the target table can get that only updated or deleted or
Yeah,
inserted
exactly.
records.
Exactly. Yeah.
Uh, my okay, but whatever the trigger table cannot hold any data. It supports to the target table for inserting and updating and loading, right? So how come you can
Exactly. Sir.
so where you can go and see that logs, like, how many records inserted, how many records updated, how many records are deleted. So can we see those logs, or
Okay.
we
Yeah,
cannot
yeah,
go
yeah.
and
So
see we
if
cannot go and see the target table, right? So how many records are, we cannot get the exact data. So I
Yes.
just want to see that how many records are deleted on the device, how many records are inserted the device, where we can go and see them.
So you can go and see those requirements in your log table. Okay. So the same way, if this is your requirement, then we have to create a log table for your trigger. Whenever I'm setting trigger, I have to create a trigger table. Inside the trigger table, you will hold all the data. Okay, Sri?
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Got the answer. Yeah.
Okay, guys. So there is no other question. We can go for a quiz session with simple 4 or 5 questions for today. Guys, you can raise your thumb or
So I just want to know in ETL, I have seen one requirement today. They were like mentioning you should know the stored procedures to compare what is that uh, mapping document values. So
mapping document values with what it has to compare. So you have, if you want to compare, you must have take two data, right? So one data with mapping details or the requirement. The other one with which one do you need to compare?
So without stored procedure, can we do that? Because we are not like end-to-end database
Yeah.
experts, right?
See, anything is possible, Chandra, but we have to understand the requirement, right? So suppose I want to compare my BRD information with some table, then that's possible. Or if you want to load your requirement into a table and you want to create one, let's say, view or like, sorry, on the stored procedure to compare it with other table. If there is any mismatch, you want to return the mismatch console only, then that's purely based on your requirement. Anything is possible.
Okay.
Fine. There is no other question. Can I move ahead to the quiz session, guys? First, who are all interested with the quiz session, guys, they can stay. And if those who not interested, then they can drop off, guys. I think today's concepts over. We discussed. So only quiz session is pending. Okay, guys, I'll stop sharing. So, guys, we discussed about two trigger. Okay, suppose we are creating a trigger in an database. So, what may be the disadvantage of the trigger based extraction? You are extracting a data from source, okay, using triggers. So, on the trigger based extraction, what's the disadvantage? So, option A will be requires no storage. Option B slows down the source system performance. C cannot capture deletes. D doesn't work on databases. So what will be your answer, guys?
So what is the
Performance.
first option? What is the first option, if you don't mind? What is the first option?
Yeah. Only. I'll share my screen for you showing you. share my screen again. You can see. Is my screen visible, guys?
Yes.
So the question will be, what is the disadvantage of trigger-based extraction? So the first option will be requires no storage, slows down source system performance, cannot capture deletes, doesn't work on database. So what is the disadvantage of trigger-based extraction? Your first question. Just guys go one by one.
I
Divya?
think, oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Shiv, no issues.
Yeah, I think it doesn't work on databases. It's work on tables, I think so.
We will see the explanation after some time. Okay. Divya, can you please provide your option?
No, I'm not much sure of it, sir. I think it's slow down system performance, maybe.
Chandra, do you have any options? Okay, fine. So the option will be close down the source system performance. Basically, trigger is an SQL code, okay, and it perfectly works with the database tables. Okay, so the table will be stored inside the database. So the fourth option doesn't work on databases, not an answer, and cannot capture deletes. The option 3, it will capture deletes too. The way how we are coding, and requires no storage, also not an proper answer. So the slows down source system performance is the main disadvantage of using trigger-based extraction, which means we are coding it. Okay, whenever the insertion, updation, deletion happens. If it is a smaller level, so it's fine. If it is higher level, then definitely it will slows down the source system performance. And second question, which type
So,
of data load? Yeah, go ahead, Sri. Sri, give me a
eh,
minute.
but
Let me complete this. If you can't understand, we will complete after completing the session. Okay. So, which type of data load replaces all target data each time? Incremental load, full load, stream load, partial load. So, Pragya, can you try? Which type of data load replaces all target data each time?
Partial load.
So, I want answer.
Full load only, replacing everything, right? Full load.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a full load.
So, the
B is
option,
answer.
yes, B full load will be the option. All target data, right? Each time the all target data, you have to concentrate on all target data. All target data means it's definitely full load. It's partial load or incremental load will deal with some chunk of data. Stream load will be also like a streaming, live streaming. It will be like what is the current update? If you capture that alone. Okay. Now we are done with the session for today, guys. Since I'm not able to complete the class or session contents I planned, so we can close with these two questions. In after tomorrow's session, we'll have some more questions. Okay, guys. Okay, now someone, yeah, Sri had some question, right? Sri, you can
Yes,
go ahead.
I do.
Guys, before that, if anybody wants to drop, they can free to go. Today's session done. Only I'm clearing the clarifications now. Yes, Sri, go ahead.
So you said that the source system performance get that slow down, right? If we use the triggers. So how it is possible? The source system,
Okay, fine.
I didn't
So
understand the.
in your ETL tool, you're writing a code, okay?
Okay.
Even though it is like you're using any tool, that's a piece of code. While you are running that piece of code, what it has to do, no? Before the code, you have to make a communication with the source, okay? And from that source, whenever you are writing the query directly into the source system, it's different. When you are accessing that source from some other component and you are trying to send a query and on that table, if you are running it, definitely suppose SSMS, In SSMS, if you have less amount of data, your query will execute faster. When you have huge amount of data, it will definitely degrade your performance of executing the query. Which means like I have 100 records, which 100 records will be displayed in 1 minute or let's say in 10 seconds. If you have 1000 records, probably it will be displayed in 20 seconds or 25 seconds. Definitely it will be more than the time taken for execution of 100 records. So the same concept will apply here. When your insertion, deletion, or updation records are less, your performance is okay. Whenever the volume increases, definitely it slows down the performance. Okay, Shri?
Okay, I got it. So if you use, see, let's take an example of a SQL server. If you create a layer 1 and layer 2, you extract the raw data into the layer 1. So if you use the trigger layer 1 to layer 2, still slow down the entire SQL server? That
No,
means,
just see source assessment. Definitely. See, suppose I'm opening some 5 query engines. Okay, in layer 1 to layer 2, I'm creating trigger in between and loading the data to the target. At the same
okay,
time, if I'm trying to execute a query to simply extract 100 records from the source or some other table, definitely you are allocated some amount of space or some amount of memory for executing those operations, right? Suppose 1 GB of memory executing, taken to execute that whole operations in SSMS. Then the trigger will take 100 MB. Definitely you will have only 900 MB. With that 900 MB only, the operation will done. Suppose the volume of data coming from the trigger is less, it will be like it will run within 1 MB or 2 MB or 10 MB. Suppose I'm having 1 million records. Okay, let's take in real time example. I have a credit card transaction happening on each minute. I want to track. Okay, let's say Visa card from Visa system, Visa company. They are tracking each second transaction happening from Visa cards. You will have millions of records are coming on each minute. If I create a trigger, no, definitely your system will not run. You can't do any other operations. It will hang. Clearly?
that means the query, that means that the query definitely will slow down the performance, correct?
Yes, definitely will slow down the performance. When
Okay,
you
got it.
extract huge amount of data.
Thank you, Haran. Thanks a lot. So
No
that
issues.
means we should have another alternatives, like, to keep up the track for
Yeah,
whatever the
definitely.
insert.
Yes,
Okay, thank
definitely.
you. Yes.
We have to see. So this is a main disadvantage of trigger-based extraction. So
Thank you.
you have
Yes.
to, based on your source data, you have to design your extraction strategy. If it is less, you can go to trigger-based, which is cost-effective. If you have
Okay.
more transactional data, huge amount of data, then definitely you can't choose trigger-based extraction. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, guys. I feel like today's session was good,
Thank you.
and
Thank you, Haran.
I hear very good questions. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your interest on understanding the concepts. Thanks, guys. Bye. We will meet tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.